everyone, thank you for joining me today. Before I start, can I just say thank you to everybody who has subscribed recently and anybody who has left lovely kind comments. They do make me feel good, so thank you. To be honest, they make you feel good. Today's reading is what's the best thing about your love life, and you've got 3 piles. You've got pile number 1 here, pile number 2 and pile number 3. So if you want to take your time, take your choice and we'll get going.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Alright then, let's get going. Okay, right from the very beginning, this is them, this is you, this is what you bring to the relationship, this is what they bring, and this is the relationship as a whole. So I'm just basically going to read my way through so things will come to me as I go, and hopefully it will all come together. Straight from the very beginning, your energy is beautiful. It has a expansive nature about it. You've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter, and this is somebody who works from their higher mind in some way, that they basically can see a clear picture, and they're not petty, they are big personalities, and they give a lot. Even if you're introverted, there's just a big personality inside. You've also got the Sun here, and that's somebody who's open and generous and clear and direct, but in some sort of, these 2 cards together make me think of somebody who is just warm and open and loving. And to top it off, you've got the Star card. It's somebody who, with all these together, it's just somebody who is probably very spiritual, somebody who thinks a lot about how things work and who puts it into practice in everyday life. This is really good. I'm not making this up. But you've also got the 3 of Cups. And as soon as these came out, I just automatically thought of somebody who gives on a large scale, somebody who works in groups, or somebody who likes large groups to feel good. That didn't come out very well. What I'm trying to say is that you work for the better of a huge group of people, rather than just one-to-one relationships, you know, maybe as well as one-to-one relationships, but you're somebody who's got a big heart, a big personality, and I have the feeling that you're just basically coming to grips with the fact of who you are and giving to everybody else, just because you have, with these cards here, with the Aquarius card, with the Leo cards, and with the Jupiter Sagittarius card, you have the ability to give without feeling too drained, because it's almost like an endless resource inside you, and you work well. As you can see, all these birds here, they've all got the same sort of mask on. It's like a coven. Is it coven? Is that the correct way to say it? It's got that feeling of generally somebody who is the same as everybody else. They don't put themselves above or below. So you've got that middle ground going on with you, which is just fantastic. You don't have to demean yourself, or you don't have to put yourself above other people to be able to work well and give of yourself. And as I said, if you're too introverted, sometimes you give and then to be honest, Aquarius can do this. It's almost as if you have to retreat, which you might have to do, but I've got a general feeling you're that person that gets up the next day, regardless of what set you back, and you start fresh and you make everybody feel good around you. So your pile is absolutely beautiful. The only other thing I've got here, which I don't understand, when I pulled your 3 the black and white cards out, I got the no card with it, and I'm not really sure what the no card means, but to me, as I pulled it out, because it had the moon cycles on it, I'm assuming that something in here is going to make more sense in a month's time. Right, okay, well that's what I got for you, which I wish I'd got for myself. The only thing I'm not too sure about either is you've got here the 5 of Wands, which is normally a lot of people involved in a situation which can be quite contentious in some way. And the only thing I thought when I was reading your cards, because they're so good, and I've got a funny feeling you work really well in groups, that you may be somebody who is good at being very diplomatic and sorting out the situation. But I don't know about this one. That's what my thought was, because it goes with all the other cards. There's a lot of people, there's almost like a angsty feel about it, but from your energy, I wonder whether you are really good at being diplomatic within large groups. And that's where your strength is. That's where your strength lies, in your openness and your ability to have foresight and bring it down to earth and make things work. Your energy is beautiful. Right, on the person that you're asking about, this is quite a funny read, I suppose, because it said, what's the best thing about your love life? And I wonder, some people might not have love lives and some do, or just somebody has a crush. But I'm going to read it anyway, regardless of the situation. Now, your situation makes me think that with your person, something big has happened, because they are coming across as the Page of Wands and they're Five of Swords. So their energy is very, very different from you. And I'm wondering whether it's quite transient, whether it's just something they're going through, because they've got the Tower with them as well. And the behind position on your general spread for your relationship is also the Tower. So I think on their side, something huge has happened which they are dealing with. The Page of Swords in this card here, Page of Wands, makes me think of somebody who's very direct, very feisty and focused. So this bird is flying, it's the dark, it's flying straight up to the moon. There's no fear in this person, but they're fighting at the moment, because you've got the Five of Swords here as well, and it's basically a battle on the edge of a cliff and it's raining, and both these cards are quite dark. It's somebody who I think at this particular moment in their life has to be focused, because that's the only way they can cope. Because you've got two Tower cards here, and your cards are fantastic. Theirs are harder. The only other way that gives me clues to why they are finding something difficult, apart from the fact the Tower card basically is something in their life that they've built up that they think works, and it may have worked for some period of time, and then basically somebody pulls out the block from the bottom of the Tower and it falls to pieces. So something they've actually built their life on, some sort of mental process that they think actually does work, is not working. Something's fallen to pieces. The cards I've got here is other cards which may add to it, of illusion, and there's children here. This could ring true for one or two of you, maybe. You've got the Page of Wands here twice, and your person is coming across as the Page of Wands. So either there could be children involved and their child is there as well, or something they've tried to start off fresh, something small they begin to start off has basically fallen to pieces. It could be something like a business that hasn't started, which is very likely, especially in these times. Or could it just be basically, because you've got the Tower and you've got the Seven of Cups here, it's just some illusion that they have built up that's fallen to pieces. I don't know yet. I'm going to go a little bit further into it. But their energy is coming across as focused through pain. They're fighting, they're keeping their head down, they're swimming underwater, and something in their life is hard. Yours is a broader, feel-good pile over here. Right, let's go through your relationship to find out what is so good about it. Apart from you, of course. Right. I think that your relationship, King of Wands and Tower, I wonder if some way, before I start, that there's some passion, or there's a lot of passion in this relationship which has had the rug pulled from underneath it. Because you've got the Tower card behind, so something in the past has fallen to pieces. Something in the past has basically been ripped up, and I think in some way it's connected with the King of Wands. And the King of Wands to me speaks of somebody who is forthright and passionate, and because there's Wands cards over here, I'm wondering whether, I think it's your person. I think there's some way that your person either has, I'm going to say, a crush on you, and their enthusiasm and their fire has caused something to go wrong in their life. I don't know. I'm just looking at these two cards. I've not looked at the rest yet. But this, to me, at the moment, speaks of somebody who is passionate, and I think it's your person. You're coming across as more giving and loving, and this person is quite passionate. They may have jumped into a situation, and it's caused a lot of upset. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that for the moment and keep talking. So you've got somebody your relationship is based on somebody who has opened their heart and basically offered their love. And this person is probably, this could be you, it's quite romantic, it's very giving and very open. And it's also crossed with the Queen of Pentacles. So it's almost as if this is bound up in some way with a very practical feel about it. Or it's like what you could be married, or you could be quite settled. If you're not married, you could be quite settled. Energies are shifting here. So somebody loving and romantic is crossed with somebody, could be male or female. So sex, this could be a pile for not, you know, sort of, could be two males, two females, because the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups is in different ways than I would have expected it. It doesn't really matter either way, it's just energy. So, okay. The Knight of Cups, the situation is somebody who's romantic and loving and open and offered something. And then you've got the Queen of Pentacles over this. And this is somebody who's established and mature and just likes things to be practical. And there's still love there, but they don't want empty gestures. And behind is something that has gone on between the pair of you, which is really heavy and which has basically pulled everything to pieces. And in this person's mind especially is weighing like a ton of bricks. And what has happened, it's caused you to be both probably to be very defensive and almost pull back and just be watching and waiting. But what's happened in the meantime is that you both, because something has gone wrong and you've both been pulled back into your own personalities rather than trying to get together, it's almost as if you're building yourselves up in some way. It's as if you probably really wanted to, you know, you can see each other in each other and you've wanted to sort of meld it together. Meld the word, I just made that up. But what's happened is because something has happened in the past which has disturbed them, you maybe both, it's almost pulling you back onto your heels to look at yourselves again. And this has, the best thing about this relationship that I can see at the moment, I'm only down here, is that it's brought the best out of you. This person's struggling, but it's made you into a bigger person because you've got the sun. The sun represents you down here and the sun represents you here. So in some way it's made you a bigger person. This person's passion, maybe intensity, in some way has either brought out your creativity, brought out your self-reliance in some way. And I think this person isn't faring as well as you because their card is the Eight of Pentacles, which again is, you know, it's not a bad card. It's work. It's basically digging deep and using your skills and pulling the best out of a situation. So I think this person is working hard on themselves. And you've got the Queen of Wands at the end here. In this read, you're coming across really strong and the other person isn't. So the Queen of Wands, again, just fits in so much with your pile. It's somebody who everybody finds is attractive, somebody who is the life and soul of the party, is creative, is basically got everything going for them. It's somebody who gives and brings people along with them. You know, it's the type of person everybody wants to go out with a night out with. It's the type of person people want to go on holiday with. You know, it's the type of person that gets employed in every creative job that you've ever wanted. The Queen of Wands has it. Right, so this is all coming to some sort of I don't know what that is. Some sort of meaning for me. I'm going to sum it up here. This is what I think possibly could have happened. Take it all with a pinch of salt because obviously there's a few people watching. I think that this person may have offered you something that they possibly couldn't follow through. You're very stable and you're very grounded and you know who you are, so you've sort of accepted this as it is. But what has happened, I don't think that this person has for some reason it's fallen to pieces. Either they couldn't follow through with the love that they wanted to give you because they're in another relationship, you couldn't get together for some other reason, or something in their life has basically fallen to pieces in some way. Fallen to pieces, I've said lots of times, but there's no other way. The Tower card is something that's pulled away from you, that is built on muddy foundations, just shitty foundations that basically just disappear. And this has caused you both to be doing that. So you've almost pulled apart a bit and you are watching each other and waiting to see what the next step is. But in the meantime, I think you have worked really hard on yourself to make sure that you come out of this relationship without obsessing or thinking or wanting to be this other person too much, although you're open to it, but just working on yourself. And this is where this card flourishes, because you are coming out as magic. They are still working. They're still working and working on themselves. And I feel a bit hard on this pile over here. And what it comes out is the Queen of Wands. So I think this basically pulls you all in together. You have worked really hard on yourself. And I think as a result of this relationship, whatever's happened and whether it's been hard, it's almost as if it's something you could have asked for subconsciously. Because it's made you see who you are and what you have, what you've got to give, which is a huge potential. I think that you're very happy in yourself, and I think you probably were before the relationship started, and I think you've gone into it with good intentions, and I don't know whether you are together or not. I get the feeling not, because you've got the Nine of Wands here, and you've got almost like these two cards are always like not lonely cards, but somebody on their own. And then you've got these Tower cards coming with this person over here. I don't think I can say anything more about that apart from well done. I think your person's finding things harder. I think they're struggling themselves more than you. So anyway, I'm going to finish it there. So well done to you for this, for the work that you've done yourself, and the beauty that you are in so many ways, because you're coming across as such a big person in every way. And it is, relationships are hard, and when you like somebody, it makes you very vulnerable. And I think that you have built your confidence on your own and through yourself. But you use people as a mirror, and this person has helped you do that. And it may not have been easy, especially for them. Right, okay, Pile 1, thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Okay, pile number 2. I'm just going to go quickly through with, this is their energy, this is you, how you're coming across, this is a relationship, and how it accumulates at the end, and to find out what's the best thing about your relationship. So I'm going to go straight into their energy over here. They're coming across as somebody who is, actually I think you might be quite similar in some ways here. This pile is more introverted than the pile before, especially the person who's asking for the reading in the pile before. But that's not interesting to you anyway. This pile here is, this man or woman that you're asking about is somebody who is a mature person who's extremely good at looking mature. They're extremely good at using their mind. They're extremely good at making everything work in the practical world. They're very good at they're probably very good at debating, and they're probably not somebody you can throw the wool over their eyes or pull the wool over their eyes. They probably work a lot. They probably just work a lot. They're probably somebody who doesn't mind working on their own, or their job may cause them to work on their own. But I think that they work hard, and I don't think they're afraid of taking on responsibility. I don't think they're afraid of making decisions that may seem quite painful. They're not somebody that shirks responsibility. They're somebody who, when the chips are down, they will be there and basically they will give the information or the message that's quite painful that other people are trying to shove upon them. Somebody who doesn't run away from hard decisions. In work, I'm thinking work because this has got like a work feel about it. It's somebody who is not silly, but somebody who works hard and takes real responsibility and is not afraid to call people out and move in when things are needed. And somebody who thinks about it a lot. These two cards at the bottom here make me think that, because they're under the Four of Pentacles, which is somebody who works hard. The Four of Pentacles, to me, is somebody who basically holds things back. But in this card here, in this deck makes me think of a Capricorn type of feeling. Somebody who works hard and has got to the top, but is still basically could possibly hold their feelings back a bit. But what I think with these two cards they've got here, because you've got the Five of Cups, and then you've got the Nine of Cups. I wonder whether this person has sacrificed work for relationships. Because that's what I got the feeling I got when I pulled these cards out. Because you've got happiness, but with only a little bit left. You know, the hard-working card here and the mature sort of no-nonsense pairing of the King of Pentacles and King of Swords here. So that's the feeling I got, that this person that you may be that you are asking about in your relationship is somebody who works hard, takes on a lot, but may have sacrificed a lot because of their work. Right, let's go over to you over here. Now, you've come across as the Hermit twice. So this, to me, these people, you two, are giving me a sort of earthy feel about it. I think you're somebody that enjoys a lot of time on your own, and that's what gives you your strength. I don't know whether you meditate, and if you don't, I think you should, because you've got the Hermit twice, and you've got that with the Nine of Pentacles. To me, that this screams of somebody who works on themselves a lot and needs a lot of quiet time. If you're out in public, if you go out at night, you may be somebody who doesn't sleep when you get home because you get overstimulated quite easy. But I wonder whether, because you've got the Two of Pentacles here as well with you, you know, basically you work hard on yourself. You're not somebody who lets things slip, or somebody who basically, when something goes wrong and you've done something wrong, you ignore it. You will work and try and work that out so that you can be a better person. But you've got the card here, it's Two of Pentacles, and in this pack it just screams to me of things that go round in circles all the time. So I wonder whether your relationship with this person is almost like banging your head against a brick wall, and it could be something to do with a work situation, or maybe you just can't get the time with this person because they've dedicated it somewhere else. But I think generally on the whole that you're very honest and open with yourself. You're coming across as somebody who is, from this pile, somebody who's very happy with themselves, somebody who's very honest with themselves and has worked on themselves and is not afraid of situations, not afraid of people, because I think you know who you are. But I do think that I get this feeling that this relationship is almost as if it's been running along, and you've had to look at yourself so much through it that you're wondering why they're not giving more. I don't know. Let me go with the relationship as a whole here. So I'm trying not to say this because I often think that a lot of people who watch tarot readings probably aren't married, because then you would probably just ask your wife or your husband, whoever you're in a dedicated relationship with, you know, what's going on, rather than looking at a tarot reading. But you know, generally they're just interested either way, because you've got the Empress here and you've got the Hierophant here. So this is almost, it could be something to do either with a traditional relationship where you could be both married, or it could be to do with pregnancy in some way. That would only be for a few of you. I'm trying to look at these cards to see. It could be pregnancy. And this person may not be giving you what you want out of the relationship, and it's almost as if it's not that they're unhappy with that or that relationship, it's just that, you know, you feel that you're not getting out of it, you're almost like treading water all the time. I'm going to finish saying that there, because pregnancy is only going to apply to a few of you. So if you are pregnant and you're asking about this, the reason I'm saying that is because you've got the Empress card here as the position, you've got the Sun behind, and you've got the Page of Wands, and I would be telling porkies if I didn't actually bring that up. So I don't like to bring pregnancy up because it can put people in a fright, but that's what the cards are saying. It could be possible. If it's not pregnancy, a lot of the time it's just basically starting off something that you bring out of yourself that is creative, and it's something you really need to do. And it could be just, because it could equally be the same. So if pregnancy is a factor in this relationship, it could be something to do with either children anyway, their children. Okay, sorry, my camera switches off about every 15 minutes. Right, I'm going to leave these cards here and work through and come back to these, because you've got the Ace of Wands, the Judgment, and the Eight of Cups, which I'm going to try and read with these cards here. You're coming across as somebody that you almost feel like a bond with this person, as if it makes you feel at home, or it makes you feel as if it's somebody that you recognise, or somebody that's similar to yourself. But your person is coming across as if they're having a harder time than you, a bit like Power 1, and self-esteem could be a problem here. There's a Capricorn feel with your person. There's that earthy feel of thinking that they're not worthy, that they work hard and they give a lot in that way to other people, but they almost feel as if it's uncomfortable when compliments are given, or when they feel happy giving and taking. And I don't think their self-esteem is as high as it should be. I don't get the impression that you two are like, huge sort of outgoing, bravado people anyway. You've got that quiet confidence about you both, but I think this person needs more of that. Right. Because I do think your person's earthy. You've got the King of Pentacles twice, and you've got a feeling of happiness. I think in the past that both of you have made each other feel good. And my candles dribbling there. I think this person, male or female, but the more earthy person, well, yeah, I think you're both earthy to be honest, has made you feel good and made you feel alive again, and that's probably like the drug that's keeping the relationship going on your part, because they make you feel good. But I do think that you want things to be moving further, and this person in their mind is coming towards you, but it's too slow for you. But I do think that's going to change. There's going to be a bit of a shake up, and I wonder, because you have got... I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and then maybe you can make more sense of it. In the future, you've got everything going around smoothly, practically moving forward, which you are possibly hoping for something else. Then you've got the Ace of Wands, and you've got Judgment, and you've got the Eight of Cups here. So it's like a new, fresh, almost sexual, expansive, exciting feel about it, and it's almost as if it's going to shake you up a bit. But I think this person has to walk away from something to come towards you, and I think that's what's going to happen, because they're working hard, they're happy in their work, they quite like it, but I wonder if they've got to leave something behind, and it's making me think it's moving away from either a project that they've got, or a work situation they've got, or something that they're working on that you feel may be taking your time away from you. And I think they're beginning to realise this, that in order to get closer to you, they're going to have to basically stop plodding like a donkey and have a bit of passion. Okay. I think what will happen is that this person, once they've declared their undying love to you and realise the fact that they do need to put more into a relationship, will, in a positive way, almost revert back to their personality of giving in a slow, practical way, because they don't know how else to function. And I don't think that's going to bother you as much as most people, because I have a feeling that you quite like people to be more... to give with actions rather than words. You may not be the type of person that likes flowers, but you want somebody, what would touch your heart more is somebody that gives, who does something for you. So, and the end result to this relationship is a relationship where you're both working together equally. So I can see all these like Virgos and Capricorns and Tauruses almost rejoicing in this. And there's, yeah, we can work together. When everybody, like all the 5 people, think, oh my God. And there's a contentment at the end of it. But you've got the Empress card twice. So I'm still going to say pregnancy here. It doesn't ring to me that, you're going to get pregnant. But it's in the past, as in you could have been pregnant. It could have been some sort of decision that's, basically had... If it's not pregnancy, it's some sort of... I'm thinking when you look at astrology and you have Eros in your chart and it hits off somebody else's part of their chart, and there's like that passion here. And it's almost as if you ignite something in one another that puts you on your own path to creativity. So it could be that. Anyway, If that is so, that is the best thing about this relationship, that this person has provided steadily for you and ignited something in you that you feel that you can expand upon. And it could be the relationship, it could just be something that you share in that way, or it could be something on your own. Either way. Right, to sum you up, pile number 2, the best thing in your relationship is the fact that you have recognised somebody who is very similar to yourself, and the fact that you give to each other on an equal level, and you give to each other in a way that makes the other feel good because it's how you were probably given to as your parents gave to you. Solid, practical, and there. And this relationship is going to continue on that keel, and that's the best thing about your relationship, is that you're going to feel that it's there. It's not talked about, it's not fantasy, it is there, and it makes you feel good. And I honestly think this is going to lead to something creative with you. Some way that this relationship has rekindled something in you that's going to make you express yourself, because you've got the Empress twice. Right, okay, pile number 2. I'm going to stop there. Your person comes across as needing a bit of love. Because I think that they put a lot into life and they don't expect a lot about themselves. So be kind to whoever it is. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Hi there, pile number 3. Right, I'm going to go straight into it and just talk about your different energies. So this is them, and this is you, and this is your relationship. So this is basically what you're bringing to the relationship and how it develops. Straight from the very beginning, these 2 characters here are my favourite so far, because they have a really naughty sort of sexual tension feel about them, and I'll explain to you why. This is your person, okay, that you're asking about. You've got the Ace of Wands, which is probably the most sexual card in the pack. It's just basically somebody who as a person is very aware of themselves and their sexuality, and they like to get things started, and they don't beat around the bush, if you know what I mean. You've got here the Magician, and this Magician is looking at exactly what he wants, and he knows he's going to get it. So he or she makes no difference, even though it's the Ace of Wands and it has a phallic feel about it, it makes no difference. It's just somebody who's sexual and knows what they're doing, and it's just part of they live it. It's just part of their life. You've also got this coming up with the High Priestess, so this to me is like subtly sexy as well. So I wonder whether your person, when they walk around or when they walk into the room, there's a lot of eyes on them. And I have a strange feeling why I think that it's naughty is I do think that this person knows it's happening, but almost as if pretends it's not, and almost puts on that sweet sort of I'm talking to your grandma voice, because they are extremely charming. They do things differently. They're that sort of personality that people can't quite put their finger on it, although it's very obvious of why they're so attractive, because they're different, because they're subtle, but they're also either very masculine or very feminine, one or the other. So I think your person is really attractive. You are coming across as I suppose troublesome, really. You're coming across as the Page of Cups, which has got this like doe-eyed look about them that has a soft voice or flirty, or just generally very good at banter, very good at flirting, very good at being fun and cheeky and sexy, but in a small, cute, quipping, cutesy way. But you've got this paired with the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords here is somebody who has fought for what they want and is very direct and intense. So with these 2 together, you've got this energy of being almost like cutie with a forcefulness and an intent behind you which is so strong. So I think you pack a powerful punch with other people. I think people are very attracted to you because you have This is you have strength behind you like nothing else, but it's packed in a beautiful package. Queen of Cups and King of Swords. I think you're actually very good at words. You're very good at playing with people if you need to be. I think you can get the last line of people mucking about with you. So I don't think people fool with you, even though you have that sort of smooth, charming exterior too. And I think you're a strong person who gets things done and knows what you want. But I think I do think people will find that quite disarming, because I think that you come across as almost like helpless and as if you need to be protected, but you don't. You have a strength behind you that probably protects others more so. I think you know how to get things done, and I think you know how to ask for things, and I think you're quite intelligent in a really positive way. So they're coming across as sexy, yeah, I know it, and you're coming across as cute, strong, don't mess with me, you may fancy me. Right, let's have a look at your relationship here. I'm going to go through it bit by bit to see if it starts talking to me about. Okay, I think that this gives me a feeling of people who aren't actually that close yet. This gives me a feeling of two people that are really attractive to lots of people. And there may be more small steps made towards this relationship being consolidated, but I think more on this person. This person may have put more into it at the moment. I'll tell you why I'm thinking that. Okay. Right. The first card you've got here is the Fool. So the Fool is the basis for the whole situation. So it's somebody who's almost thrown themselves into a situation, or is in a situation where it could be quite dangerous to have this relationship. It could be either in the public eye and it's not really acceptable. You could be in other relationships. I haven't picked that up yet. But it's just something that may not be easy to do. And what you've got is you've got the Four of Cups here. So this frog is basically it's having what it needs, but it's almost out of water, if you know what I mean. It's not really in the correct circumstances. So excuse me. It's as if this relationship is difficult and you're just feeling each other enough to keep going at the moment. It's not really got into that part of relationship where it's consolidated and it's natural and it's not forced. It's as if there's passion here on both parts, but it's not got to the point where it's either been consummated or expressed, or it's just at the part where you're just fancying each other. There's a lot of passion in this pile. There's a lot of trying to work towards each other and trying to make it work, but it's almost as if it's quite happily stuck where it is at the moment. So you've got the Four of Wands, which is stability, and you've got the Princess of Pentacles, which is basically small steps and small movement. I think you're the person who is trying to help the other person in some way, trying to move them on. And I think your person is so fun-loving and so, I think word cheeky comes out, which is a real cruddy word. But there's something charming. It's the type of person here that asks you out for a drink and is so warm and loving and fun that they'll all think everything's happening, and then you see them like doing the same with somebody else. And I'm not talking about in a sexual way, but just with their friends. They're just somebody, I think, that gives out and is charming and everybody fancies them, and you're there wondering whether you're special or not. So you're almost trying to mull over in your mind whether you mean what you mean to this person. It's almost, I'm getting the feeling here that something has happened in both of your past that has almost started off the relationship, and you're here maybe asking and wondering what's going to happen next. Because you've got the Five of Cups here. I'm sure this is like, you've got the Five of Cups here, which is like hopes and fears. So this girl here is, she's almost as if she's like a camera being taken, and she's almost as if she's trying to, it's like lost, but looking over something over the past. To me, that's what it feels like. And you've got Judgment card here, and the Judgment card is something that is basically, it's like being rejuvenated or revived. So this person, I keep saying this person, over there, has ignited something passionate inside of you, and it's all, I think this may be in the past, and I think it could have been almost a dangerous situation, and you are left wanting and waiting to see what's going to happen next. And it's almost as if you're left watching this pile of person be outgoing and giving and have fun with people, and then you're wondering, when is it my turn, and do I, am I special to you? I get the impression that you are very sweet, but you don't give out your energies very easily unless you know that it's totally reciprocated. I think you're somebody who holds on to their heart, and you're very kind and you're very giving, but you are not nobody's fool. So I think you're waiting for your charmer to turn around to you and give you that bit more. Because they're coming out as the King of Wands here. The relationship here is almost as if this personality here is overtaking the relationship. I think this person here, who isn't you, is the stronger force, but only in the relationship, not in general, because they feel to me to be coming out more in this reading. And you seem to me to be an incredibly strong person, male or female, but you're almost underneath the water waiting for the ice to break to see where you stand here. Because you've both put the effort in. This person is somebody who you're not sure is just that type of personality with everybody. Because they're coming across as King of Wands, and they're coming across as Three of Cups, and this is big party guy, big party girl. You're coming across as a bit steadier and wanting to know where you stand. Okay, right, I'm going to start summing this up from what I've shuffled or taken in from this shuffled of this pile. So the question was, what's the best thing about this relationship? To me, from reading this, it's both of your personalities. You are both big personalities, and I think your relationship could be really good fun. It's the type of thing that, that best you can write in your diary about, and it would be incredibly good to look back on. I think, it's just, that's it. I can't say more. Both of you have really good personalities, and I think it's like a sexual pull, and there's like a magnetism here, and I think you could have really good fun with each other. I think that it could be very passionate. And I think there's just a really strong sexual magnetism between the pair of you. But I think there's just energy of it being almost like a story that you could, laugh about, or just that your times could be just good together. But I think at the moment you're waiting for more. This person's looking at you. This person is looking at this pile over here. You are looking straight at me, as in, clarify this to me, please. Because I have no idea. Well, I have some idea, but it's clarifying me. This person is just like, hey, I'm so sexy and I'm looking at you. Look what I've got in my hand. Yeah, a bit of a charmer here. Okay, right, I'm going to finish there. I hope if any of that makes sense to you whatsoever, please let me know. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.